Hi everyone, my name is Maria Cartaya and I'm in charge of communications here at Sterna Abogados, and today it's a very special video because we have our director Ainhoa Manero here with us to answer your questions. We have asked you on Facebook to send us any questions or concerns that you may have, so I have brought Ainhoa personally to answer these questions for you. So let's start. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. First question. Is it possible to obtain access to Social Security, public health care on a long-term student visa?
Well, there is no a long-term student visa. Do you mean... So the thing is, do you mean that you will get an year? Because the student visa will last until your course. And doesn't matter, because if it's the course of 3 months or if it's the course of 9 months, you need a private health insurance. This is a requirement, okay? So, no, I think that you need to hire a private health insurance. We can help you with that to find one that is okay for the requirements in immigration, because the thing is, not every private health insurance is valid. You need to see if you are covered from the beginning or if they will not cover for example, 3 months. So pay attention to the conditions of a private health insurance in order to be valid for the visa, for the student visa.
Okay. Next question. When you're applying for a new residency, for example, a long-term EU, versus renewing a current residency, for example, cuenta propia, are the rules different for traveling? For example, can you travel outside the Schengen area during both? Is an authorization de regreso required for both? Maybe other residencies or renewals are also different?
Well, yes, having a larga duración Unión Europea means that you can be outside Spain for a year, okay? So if you have a renovación de cuenta ajena o cuenta propia, doesn't matter, you can only be outside for 6 months, only 6 months per year. But once you have the larga duración en Unión Europea, you can be 1 year outside. But you are talking about Schengen. Well, this is because they don't have the means to see if you are in France or in Italy, but the law says that the time that you can be outside Spain, okay? For you to understand, it's true that if you are in France, it's very difficult for them to see that because they only see stamps when you go outside Schengen, but you need to pay attention because maybe in the future, okay, they can see if you are in France or in Italy. Now they can't, so it's difficult for them, and then we say outside Schengen because they have no way to see if you are in Spain or France.
Next question. Is there a new law that allows you to apply for a new student visa within Spain if you're currently on a student visa? But this person is not talking about renewing their visa, but applying for a different visa.
Yes, there is. So I know it's not a renewal, it's a new visa. And this is very good for people that are changing studies, because the thing is, you know that you can do a renewal of a student visa whenever you are continuing with the same kind of studies. And this is very common with an auxiliar de conversación. They have a student visa, but now they are here and they want to study Spanish or I don't know, mathematics, doesn't matter. They couldn't do a prórroga de estudios, so they should go outside and apply for a new student visa from outside to do again, but another studies. Now, if you are switching, you apply from here. It's not going to be a renewal because you are not continuing studying the same, but it's a new student visa applied from here, from Spain.
Okay, so they wouldn't have to go back to the country
No.
and do it through the consulate.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. Next question. There seems to be a little bit of confusion or at least inconsistency across consulates regarding the financial requirements for the non-lucrative visa. Some consulates allow income for a remote, non-Spanish job to be sufficient to meet the requirements, while others require the full annual amount to be in the applicant's bank account at the time of the application. Can you shed some light on what the law actually says?
Yeah, the law, what it says is that you need to have the quantity of an index that is called IPREM, which is around 600 euros. Because this changes from year to year. You can search IPREM and you will see what is the quantity of this year. And what it says is that you need to have that quantity per month of the course. So you need to multiply that index for 6 months if the course is 6 months. But you need to have it because if you are applying for that with the contract that you are telling me, immigration doesn't know if that company will pay you, and they need to make sure that you have that money to be able to live here. So they shouldn't accept in any consulate that contract as a proof to show financial means. What you need to know is that there is another option if you cannot show that financial means, but you can show that you have paid your course and that you have somewhere to live. So a friend is sharing with you an apartment and they don't charge you. That is also valid, and the law also says that they have to give you a visa for that. This is difficult in the consulates. You need to really fight that because in the consulates sometimes they don't really know the law. So they know what is usual, and what is usual is to prove the money. But this will be an option if you don't have the money. You need to really say what the law is and fight a little. That is what we do here.
I want to ask another question about non-lucrative visa because I know a lot of you ask a lot on the group, and is regarding what type of job or business can you do outside of Spain while you're here on your non-lucrative visa.
Yeah, this is something that also consulates, because a non-lucrative visa is applied from outside. So consulates again have a criteria, and in this case it's not that clear. We have asked for immigration to have something in written. We may have it soon, because I have clients that have shown these kind of jobs that you can do it remotely from your house. So the thing is, when they accept it, that is not always, because nothing says in the law, and we have the criteria, but I wanted to have something in written. But what they accept is something that you can do it remotely from home, okay? And we have clients, a lot of clients that have that in a non-lucrative visa. In any case, if it is possible to show the 30,000 euros that the non-lucrative ask and not mention it, is better, because you can do it, but as I say, the consulates are not very well informed, and sometimes they mix criteria. So sometimes it's better just not to mention it, but not because it's not legal. This is legal.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to another question that I skipped accidentally. So this is, I believe, a little bit personal, but I think it could apply to other people. So it says, my girlfriend is from Puerto Rico, so non-EU, and we would like to settle in Spain. And this person asking this question, she is a EU citizen, okay? So she's from the European Union, but her girlfriend isn't. I have my online business and I am registered as a freelancer in the Czech Republic. We want to go to Spain and get pareja de hecho so that my girlfriend can work there legally. And I want to keep working on my business online. What are the steps to follow so that we can both move to Spain and do pareja de hecho? Do I need to have a job or have my business registered in Spain in order to be able to do pareja de hecho? Or can I keep my business registered in the Czech Republic? Could I still do pareja de hecho even though I don't have a job in Spain? Neither I am registered as an autónomo.
Well, here with this consultation we are going to touch a lot of things, okay? First of all, pareja de hecho is not an immigration permit. Pareja de hecho is like getting married. So you are asking me if with pareja de hecho you can do pareja de hecho with your business outside. You are mixing. First you do pareja de hecho, then you apply for the immigration permit, and it's in the immigration permit in which application in which they are going to look for your economic means. Okay, so pareja de hecho has nothing to do with your economic situation. Pareja de hecho have to do with the situation with your couple, and the problem will be here for the pareja de hecho in Madrid, because you can see other videos that we have. Every city have in Spain have different requirements for the pareja de hecho. Okay. Right. In Madrid, for example, they just to be living together in Madrid for a year, so this will not be possible. But also in that video we talk about pareja estable. Okay, pareja estable is going to immigration directly, proving that you've been a couple for a year, even if you don't have a registration. Okay. So you prove that you were living, for example, in the Czech Republic or wherever you were living together. If you can prove that, she can also have the comunitario permit. And it's there where they will see your economic means. So here we need to explain. It's not mandatory for a European Union citizen to be working in order to get this permit for in this case, his girlfriend. What he needs to do is show financial means, so he can continue working there, but he needs to prove savings to prove that he can pay her expenses. So what we need is a bank certificate, and also it's good to show last movements. What do we recommend? We recommend at the very least 10,000 euros, okay? Because we are talking about an index that they have in the law for people that are not from the European Union and they want to bring their families, and that will be the minimum, okay? For the people of the European Union that want to bring their families, his couple, they don't say a quantity, and this is because they don't want to be very tough. They want to be flexible, but for sure if we show what they are asking for the law that is tougher, because is for the residents here in Spain that wants to bring their family, for sure, if we comply with that, for sure, it will be granted the family member from the European Union permit to his girlfriend.
What I'm thinking is, if they wanted to do pareja de hecho, the person who's from the Czech Republic, they would still have to come to Madrid, for example, get the EU certificate, right?
No.
They don't.
First, they need the pareja. If they you say that if they still want it, yes, continue.
They will have to get the certificate or the EU certificate
as pareja estable,
right, and then be able to
do the pareja de hecho.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So what they do is she comes, the immigration permit, she get it as pareja estable, but you do the empadronamiento together, the registration of living together here in Spain, and in a year they will be able to do pareja de hecho. Exactly. Very good, Maria.
Perfect. I'm learning. Okay, let's go with a couple more questions. Okay. What exactly is the interview or the test in Arraigo Social about? What questions can be expected? And I think this person means we have recently posted something about Arraigo Social talking about the know your laws or conoce tus leyes.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're referring to.
Well, because for that interview that she's talking about, or the person is asking, it's true that to get that interview, first we need to do that course, de Conoce tus leyes. But really, the interview doesn't have to be with what you learn about in this course. In that interview, it's like a pre-check of your requirements. So they will ask you for your contract, the contract that you are going to show in immigration. So they will ask you for your contract, they will ask you for maybe your empadronamiento, and maybe even for the evidences of the 3 last years. Okay? And just is to check that everything is going to be fine. But it's something very easy, or just not be afraid, okay? There are people that they just want to try to help you getting a report that you need for the Arraigo Social.
Okay, perfect. Well, the other question was very similar. A lot of you asked a lot of questions about Arraigo Social. So this is a topic we're trying to clarify for everybody. This one says, I have heard that with Arraigo Social, I could apply for it after 3 consecutive years in Spain, no matter what my status was, as long as those years were consecutive.
Exactly.
So they would like to confirm that.
Yes, I confirm that. But the important thing is, 2 important things. The Arraigo Social, you apply only when you are irregular. Because if you are not irregular at the moment of asking for that permit, you don't apply for Arraigo Social. If you are regular here because you are a student for 3 years, you modify, okay? Because people mix modification from a student to cuenta ajena, cuenta propia, and arraigo, okay? Arraigo is only when, in the moment that you apply, you are irregular. The previous years doesn't matter what were your circumstances. And another condition very important is that you the limit of being outside in those 3 years is 120 days. That is very important for you to know, because sometimes if you have been legal as a student, for example, you've been outside maybe 2 months or 3 months every year. So be careful with those 120 days in those 3 years.
So just to clarify, if I was a student, I don't apply for Arraigo Social. I modify to cuenta ajena or
if you're
cuenta
still
propia.
a student now and you are not irregular.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. For this next question, I have heard that for the student visa modification, the 3 years of estancia turn into 1.5 years residency. Is this true?
Yes, because it's a 50%. But it's for the larga duración en Unión Europea.
They didn't specify, but they're asking.
Well, okay.
Does it also apply for Arraigo Social?
No. For the Arraigo Social doesn't count. So the only thing about student is that when you apply for larga duración en Unión Europea, the time that you've been as a student counts in a 50%, so 3 years to 1.5 years. But this is if you have modified from a student to the residency permit and then you want to do larga duración. If you have become illegal, that time of student wouldn't count for a larga duración en Unión Europea.
Got it. Okay, perfect. This question. I am Canadian, married a French citizen in Canada. We registered our marriage in the French consulate. Do I have to go to the Spanish consulate to certify the marriage? It's in French, so they would have to translate and do all that as well.
But one thing is translating, okay, that we need to see that certificate. But now there is a new law, and if they have the bilingual certificate, they don't need to legalize it and they don't need to translate it, okay? But if they don't have it, they need to do some kind of legalizations, but never here to the Spanish consulate, because are they saying here to Spain?
I'm thinking yes in Spain because it says if yes, so like if they do have to go to the Spanish consulate to certify the marriage.
To the Spanish consulate there. Okay, it depends in the legalization. So what if they mean the legalization? A ver, esto puedes cortar igual.
Sí, sí, sí.
I'm married to a French citizen in Canada. We register marriage in French consulate. Vale, vale. So if you have the French marriage certificate, you don't have to do that, but you need to have it. Okay. If you don't have it, yes, you need to do the legalizations. But as you are telling me, I think that because you say that you have registered in the French consulate, that means that you have the French marriage certificate, so you will be fine with that in Spain. But get the bilingual one. If not, you need to do the apostille because the French marriage certificate need an apostille if you don't have the new model that they have that is bilingual. Okay, last question. A discussion about the process involved in obtaining a long-term visa after 5 years of uninterrupted residency in Spain, including requirement paperwork that need to be submitted. We are not gonna say everything because the video will be way too long, but talk about the process about obtaining a long-term visa after 5 years of uninterrupted residency in Spain. Well, what I want to do here is a little introduction of. There are two kinds of long-term residency, larga duración y larga duración en Unión Europea. So the one from the European Union and the normal one, okay? And the main difference is that for the European Union one, they ask you to have financial stability. So normally a job that is not really new, or if you are a freelance, they have to see that you have a stable income that is coming from your tax issues, okay? And for the larga duración normal one, they doesn't ask you for financial means. So what you really need to show is your continuation living here of 5 years and being, that is the maximum of time outside Spain, 10 months. That is the important thing. In the last 5 years, maximum 10 months being outside. They will check that you don't have criminal records. You don't have to submit them, but they will check that you haven't had a problem here in Spain, and you will be fine.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for everybody for asking our questions, and thank you, Ainhoa, for answering them. If you would like more information about any of these processes, please feel free to give us a call or schedule a consultation so that you can have that one-on-one time with your lawyer and they can explain everything that you have to do in more detail. Some of the questions we didn't get too much in depth because they're basically a consultation, so if you're interested in very detailed questions, do not hesitate and schedule that appointment, okay? Until next time.
Bye.